Have you ever noticed how some videos instantly grab your attention while others make you want to keep scrolling? Or why some videos keep your viewers engaged and others kind of fall flat? Well, the secret isn't in the content of the video. It's in how the story of the video is told. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down storytelling techniques to make your content impossible to ignore. So let's get into it. So from TV news to social media content creation, the best communicators, they don't just deliver the facts, but they tell stories to make their viewers feel something. And as a journalist, I think we're the OG content creators because we've been doing this storytelling thing for decades. And no matter what platform you create on, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, podcast, YouTube, it's the storytelling that make people stop, listen, and remember your content. So think about it. For me as a news reporter and you as a viewer, let's say you're watching our news show, what would you remember more? Me listing off a bunch of statistics or me telling a story that helped bring those numbers to life? So for example, just a few weeks ago, I did a story on food insecurity that is impacting Buffalo's East Side, but I told it through the lens of a man who is being directly impacted by this epidemic. So I'm sharing his story while also talking about the statistics, but it's like a direct correlation of being able to show the both through his perspective. Again, what are you gonna remember from that? You're gonna remember the numbers because you remember his story.
She have a lot of fresh vegetables and fruits and stuff like that, and I appreciate that.
Twice a month, Anthony Richards walks the short distance from his home on Buffalo's East Side to pick up fresh produce from the mobile food pantry, parked on Genesee and Dote Streets. Apples, oranges, fresh greens, and more, all available thanks to the organization Community of Good Neighbors.
And the same thing can be applied across the board for all content creators because it's the storytelling that keeps the audience engaged, keeps them coming back for more, but it also gives them something that they can take away from your content. But here's the challenge. Most people keep scrolling or tune out when they see content that doesn't immediately grab their attention right away. So here are 3 common mistakes that creators make when producing their content. So first, they overload with facts. So especially in these longer form videos, that they're giving too much information, not enough emotion, and not giving their audience anything to really take away and feel from their videos. And not to say that every video needs to have that, but a good amount of the successful ones, it seems like they do. And back to being a news reporter, I think that comes when the reporter is very monotone. There's really no emotion in the delivery of what they're saying, and they're just rambling off or reading a bunch of statistics or information about the story that they're reporting on. And second would be the lack of structure in their content. So their videos feel all over the place. There's really no organization, which I feel like there's a time and place for those types of videos, but when again you're doing news reporting or you're doing long form content on social media or even short content, like you got to have some sort of structure behind what it is that you're putting together. And as a viewer, you shouldn't have to be confused as to what the video is about that you're watching. And if you are, there was most likely an error in the structure of the storytelling for the person who produced that content. And third, no emotional hook. So if the audience doesn't feel something, then they're not gonna stay engaged. And they don't have to feel anything like super emotional, super happy, super sad, but they need to know that this content that I'm tuning into is beneficial or relatable to me, and I'm gonna get something out of it, because if there's no emotional hook drawing them in, then that's when they're gonna keep scrolling or turn the TV. But how do we fix these 3 common mistakes? The answer is storytelling. So let me show you 3 storytelling techniques that can take your content to the next level. Every good story follows a very simple structure. So the setup, the conflict, and the resolution. And whether you're reporting the news or creating social media content, how you structure the stories determine if people are gonna stay and tune in or keep scrolling. So I'm gonna use the YouTuber versus news reporter example again. So breaking news, there's a fire. That's not just the story. The story is gonna be my setup. A family's home caught on fire. The conflict, they escaped just in time, but the resolution is gonna be, the community or the neighborhood coming together to help them after such a tragic loss. So again, setup, conflict, resolution. And also looking at the YouTuber side of me, Take a look at my most recent video from last week, Is Work-Life Balance Even Possible? I followed a very simple story structure. So it wasn't just how to find work-life balance, right? So first, my setup, it was I've struggled with finding work-life balance, and then my conflict was why is it something that's so hard to find and kind of the problems that come with that. And then my resolution was the tips and tricks and things I've done to help me find and manage my own work-life balance. So that's a great video. You can go check that out. But again, I followed very clearly that story structure, and I was able to tell a story while also getting that message across in my video. Think about your favorite movies or TV shows. They make you feel something, right? So whether that's like curiosity, sadness, excitement, anything like that. And that's what keeps people watching and wanting to know more, see what's gonna happen next, that emotion. And for content creators, a simple change in how we're delivering it can make a huge impact. So whether that's inflection of our voices, pauses, that can add a lot of impact, just taking a second. Or even the pace of how fast or how slow you're talking. I find myself talking a bit fast sometimes, but maybe that's what keeps people watching my videos. But the biggest storytelling secret is to start with why. Before you go to make any content, ask yourself, why does my audience care? So news versus reporter. This one specifically makes me think of our meteorologist in the morning. His name is Aaron. He always says, instead of saying like, today it's 35 degrees out, he says something like, bundle up, it's the coldest day we've had in months. Here's how it's gonna affect your morning commute. So instead of just telling you that it's cold, he's telling you why you should care that it's cold, because it's gonna affect your morning commute with icy roads and slippery conditions and all of that. And YouTube example again, let's say someone's making a video on morning productivity. So instead of saying, here's how you can wake up earlier, or something like that, you can say like, struggling with mornings, here's how I became a morning person and you can too. So again, that is just showing not what happened, but why what happens in the video matters. So no matter what content you're creating, whether it is vlogs or self-help videos, motivational videos, tips and tricks, content creation videos, any of it, these storytelling techniques can be applied to all of it. But to master it, you want to remember these key three. You want to remember these key three things. First, that structure we talked about. You always want to have a clear beginning, middle, and end of all of your videos. Second, building character in your videos. So being relatable, connecting with your audience and showing them why they should care about what you're watching. Third, that emotional appeal. So whether it's happy, sad, curious, you want your viewers to feel something from the content that you're creating. So when you apply these three things, you'll instantly become a stronger storytelling, you'll keep your viewers engaged, and they'll keep coming back for more. Now, I want to hear from you all, my fellow content creators and journalists out there. Drop in the comments below how you keep your content engaging and keep your audience, your viewers coming back for more. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe. You can give me a follow on Instagram, and I will see you back here next week with a fun little morning routine vlog. And remember, it's not about what you say, it's about how you tell the story.